name is Alex Perez. I own Table 6 in the Hope Quarter Grill. My two people are Perez Verdilla and the acting mayor. So I don't have representation in this city. I've been in business for 21 years and employed 60 to 70 people for the last 10. I would like to thank the Assembly, the disgraced Mayor Berkowitz, the acting mayor for abandoning the thousands of restaurant and bar workers in this city. The closure of Table 6 was a direct result of your poor leadership and decisions to put your pet projects before my employees' livelihood. You as elected officials chose the hospitality industry to become the villain of this pandemic and pit us against this community, while citizens of Anchorage drove to other cities to dine out due to your overreaching mandates. Not only did you not slow the spread of COVID, you crippled our economy. This Assembly and the acting mayor have set the stage for a mass exiting of this city. You have proven investing in Anchorage is a poor investment. If drastic changes are not made immediately, I'll be closing 2 restaurants inside of 12 months. You've asked how this has personally affected people. Alessandra Hernandez, Giovanna Corena Dispic, Ashley McKenzie, Kathleen Derlin, Bailey Powers, Katie Rhodes, Chris White, Kimberly Stevenson, Christian Cortez Nanez, Kinsey Denton, Christine Simonson, Lacey Curbs, Corinne Early Stanky, Lori Hamill, Ernest Vidal, Matthew Shakely, Eric Dufloth, Mel Hilborn, Aaron Dunlop, Melanie DeBolt, Aaron Gales, Michael Foster, Ethan Perez, Michelle DePriest, Jeffrey Reed, Natalie Ossip, Jessica Holcomb, Nick Owen, Joel Bekovic, Patty Mullins, Jordan Swan, Peggy Weiser, Pete Zuniga, Reese Perez, Shelley Saline, Ignacio Mangubat, Caitlin Fletcher, Sonia Paradis, James Jewell, Sophia Fast, Tanya Faddis, Sydney O'Reilly, Travis Travers, Nico Contreras, Tyler Messer, Ryan Babian, Tyler Russell, Zachary Lucci, Walter Thompson, Josh Meister, Winston Javier, Carlos Ulia, Jamie Meister, Mark Combs, Eric Wakeshire, Iris Curry, Simeon Jacoy, Nicola Tomic, Christopher Rosenfeld. This is the list of some of my employees who were forced out of work by your actions. Meanwhile, the box doors are packed full and none of you have missed a paycheck, and the mayor just gave 8 hours to each of you. Disgraceful. One day you will no longer be able to hide behind those masks. You will have to walk the streets of Anchorage and be held accountable for your actions.
Thank you for participating. I have a question from Ms. Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Perez, as well. And you're hearing me on the phone, obviously. So this is Crystal Kennedy. But my question to you is, first I have to say thank you for reading those names. I mean, that so hits home. And if people aren't able to put a face with those names, maybe some of the names will really still resonate with them, and they'll remember that for a while. So thank you so much for reading off the names of those employees that have lost their jobs. But can you tell me a little bit about some of the stories? I mean, not the stories, but what are these people doing? If somebody is losing their job today in the restaurant industry, what options do they have? What are they planning? What's their future look like?
Well,
what do they tell you?
Some of them, ma'am, have tried to find other jobs. Some of them, this is what they do for a living. So they're out of work. I will also like to say that when the original mayor shut us down in March, I took it upon myself to pay every staff member of mine an additional week of wages, including the tips that my servers would have made on average from January until the middle of March, because I felt it was the right thing to do, because you take care of the people who take care of you. And this Assembly, we are who you should be taking care of. And you have failed on every ladder, on every step. Our acting mayor is this job is above her head, and she should be removed, and we should have an election. An election. Follow your charter, for God's sake.
Equity. I've heard that word dozens of times from the members of this assembly, so I'm going to shine a spotlight on the equity you have doled out. As many of you have heard, Table 6 in Midtown permanently closed their doors last week. The Anchorage Assembly and Mayor's Office have hung Alex and Table 6 employees out to dry. Instead of financially backing small businesses, you built trails. Instead of being transparent and honest, you rearranged funds so you could buy hotels. You took the very people you speak of being equitable to, and you crushed them. If you want taxpayers of Anchorage to care about the homeless population, and they absolutely should, you're going to have to care about the people who built this city. Because it is no secret that the people you are unemploying think you are buying those hotels to house them. I want to make one thing very clear in closing. COVID did not permanently close Table 6's doors. The disgraced mayor, the acting mayor, and the Anchorage Assembly, you folks are responsible for that.